Ops. Welcome into a One Life event. Squad Ops, we're doing Operation Open Road today. Get starting here soon. Open Road is a classic. A classic, guys. Absolute classic. Take a look at what's going on here with Open Road. There's a road. Russians going to roll down that thing straight towards the airfield. US are going to set up in the airfield. They're going to do pretty much whatever they like to defend airfield against a Russian mechanized assault. And oh boy, assets are out there for both teams. Lots of stuff that you're going to see this operation here on Yarivka. All sorts of things. We'll start with US loadouts real quick. US infantry squads. 2 ARs, 1 light, 1 medic. There's 2 AT-12 hat kits and 2 MAWS hat kits in the platoon. So it's 4 hats, 2 AT-12s, 2 MAWS. For US, they have 2 open-top MRAPs and 6 Logis with a combined 6,000 ammo, 12,000 build. For the FOB at the airfield, for defense purposes, US will be using a MO, or a MO. Wow, okay. I'm losing my mind right now. It's a mortar and a tow. Along with fortifications, they also have they could also call in CAS. They have a CAS asset on standby. They have a bombing run support mission that they can call in off map. The Russians attacking from generally the north to the south at airfield. 2 ARs, 1 lat, 1 medic per squad. They have a BMP-2 and a BTR-80, as well as 2 MTLB and SVT variants. They have a little bit more off-map support. 4 6-round artillery smoke barrage. Sorry, let me rephrase that. They get 4 artillery smoke missions in a 6-round variant, and they get an artillery smoke barrage. A little bit different. The barrage, I think it's upwards of like 20 shells. I think the barrage is also going to be a larger smoke deployment. The variance and range is a little bit different there. But Russia starts at Maine. We're going to see Maine here on the upper corner of the map. I haven't decided which team we're going to follow. Usually we follow the offensive team. I kind of want to follow US in defense today. I think we're going to follow the Russians today. So we're going to follow Russia in blue for both rounds. One life event, how we do things. We play 2 rounds. Everyone plays a round on their team, and then everyone switches teams, and we play the operation over again. Here, and take a look at the map. Oof. On point is Ouch. Players are joining in right now. Reason why we're running not running on 1080p is I'm only on a single streaming. I'm on a single PC streaming setup, and I don't have gigabit Ethernet to my computer, because that's how much traffic would be necessary. Not that much traffic, but I mean, like, it'd take a lot. I'd rather have a second PC doing the encoding if I was going to actually render this game at 1080p. There's a lot of fine details. We've been tweaking with our graphics settings here. Here's a second stream that we're going to be doing in 720. I'm going to make a few changes with tonight's stream as well. So looking for y'all's input on that. Trying to minimize the level of blurriness that we're getting. Obviously, in the game, based on just how I'm able to run the game, it's here's a baseline for what you can see at a distance anyway. Oh, I don't have I don't have binocs on this. But when I pop out to spectator camera, there's a lot more than a typical soldier is going to be able to see at once. So, especially if I zoom in past like what you would see with a 4X, even in the fog, gonna make some. It's gonna tear my codec to shreds every time I pan. From such a long ways out. Change my FOV. So just some things we're doing to change. Try to improve the graphics quality for my setup anyway. Trying to get that applied for all the others. In the future. Definitely happening. Let's go over who's doing what. We're going to be following Russia in blue. So Silas commanding Russia round 1. Got Airborne, Patrick Starr, Alpha Guido, and Rather Scottish Chap as his squad leads. Blackbeard's running US in red with Phoenix, Harv, Miyamoto, and Bacon Batman. Players are joining right now. Take a look at the scoreboard here. It's being given out teams. See the meme names here. Like we're close to getting capacity now. And I think those vehicles just appeared out of nowhere. Good to know. I don't know why Russia are getting transport trucks, but how is the squad ops going? It goes. Right now, we're getting ready for, looks like squad leaders on Russia, getting ready to brief their squads, set up kits. Take a look at what's going on here for open road. You can see here, Russia main is going to be the main launch point for the entire operation. They're going to drive straight down to airfield. They're going to start wrecking everything in their way. It's going to be cool. I'm bcarr, by the way. Going to be giving you guys commentary on the action. Should be getting started here. We'll probably go live with the round in probably about 5 minutes or so. Maybe a little bit earlier, a little bit longer. No real set live time when we organize these operations. Usually the gear is set in motion. Everything begins sort of in due course. Obviously, Eurivka is a big map. Lots of different ways that Russia can take to get to the airfield. There's really two paths that come out of Maine. Oh, I can't draw on the map because I'm not a squad leader. Well, let's fix that real quick. I need a good name for my command squad. Open road. Closed. Sidewalks. So generally you're going to see Russia probably take a path like that. The big points of interest you want to be watching out for is how they cross this road right here. Obviously, it's the main highway. if the U.S. decide to push, I'm just going to mute the game real quick. Once the U.S. decide to push, or if they decide to push out from the airfield, they're not going to push out that far. I mean, if you think about the airfield, it's down here. U.S. will be starting inside the airfield at live. They can probably set up, like outside defensive positions at these marks, maybe here. They probably want to send someone down here. As far as the east, you've obviously got this big hill open, this hilltop right here is kind of important. Potentially here, maybe they want to send guys all the way out to Oscar 14 or Hotel 12-1 is probably an important intersection. Obviously, you've got the intersection here at Hotel 11-8. It just really comes down to how the commander wants to attack the airfield. It's kind of a... It's not rolling the dice so much. It's just, there's so many different ways we can take a look at it. We'll take a look at it here once we get a briefing, once we figure out which way they're going. We can critique the route, so to speak. U.S. getting their guys out of Maine here. Obviously, they got the 6 Logi trucks, as well as 2 open-top MRAPs. They're going to hold... I guess they're going to hold the main roads as chokes. Seeing a couple different helmet icons here. Could be an indication of where U.S. are going to throw their troops. BMP-2 leading the way. There's a couple of MTLB and SVT variants. These 2 right here. They're going to be taking part in the assault, mainly moving troops. Is their goal. And we're going to have a platoon brief here shortly. Go ahead and turn on mic in the game. Daniel lining up the BTR-80 to the column. It's kind of a modest column for a mechanized attack.
Ooga chooga, ooga chooga, ooga chooga, ooga chooga, ooga chooga, ooga chooga.
Shut up.
Stop that.
All right, here we go. Here's a briefing for Russian forces. Operation Open Road.
My frames are low.
TPS is going down.
Server tick, right?
Oh no, not again.
Looks like everyone's here. Maybe not everyone's here.
No, a few more.
Oh.
Alright, go ahead and open your maps, boys.
Here we go.
Drivers, pay attention to the enemy path marks. That's going to be our route. We're basically going down to the highway and following that all the way east and then down the eastern MSR. We're going to break off at November 12 and move southwest to the tip of that arrow, which is going to be our ORP. From there, we're going to break off into 4 elements. Each squad's going to have their own vehicle. Guido squad, which is going to be operating the BMP, is going to be in the north of the column. We're going to be approaching the northeast side of the airfield initially. We may adjust that based on where the enemy location is once we get eyes on. But BMP will be taking up the north end of the column. Their infantry will be dismounted. Guido will be directing them depending on what they're doing. That's kind of up for air. Next in the column is going to be Scottish in a MTLB. He'll be moving roughly on that location. His infantry will be dismounting. They'll be pushing up the trenches, supported by the 2 vehicles along that enemy path mark. To the south of him will be Patrick's squad and another MTLB. They'll be about 200 meters out on mark. They will be moving adjacent to Scottish's squad, moving along that enemy path mark. And to the south of him will be Airborne squad, roughly in the south, with the BTR providing southern and western security. They'll also be moving based on contact and what Airborne decides to do with this element. For the 2 infantry teams moving up the trenches, your entry points, these may change based on where contact is, but those are going to probably be your best routes to get a foothold into the compound, and from there fan out and just overwhelm the enemy. Alpha and Airborne squads will be either working flanks or following up the infantry assault based on platoon's need. If for some reason the enemies aren't consolidated in the northern half of the airfield, they're probably going to be in that southeastern compound tab mark. If that occurs, we're going to break off into 2 elements with Guido and Scottish's squad still moving on the north half of the airfield, while Airborne and Patrick break south and approach from the southeast, where the enemy will probably be expecting us to come from if they chose that location. And if it's not in either of those 2 locations, we'll just adapt accordingly. Does anyone have any questions? Great, go ahead and get mounted up in your vehicles, guys. Squad leads getting ready for live.
Alright. Looks like we're going to see Silas's plan getting tested when the assault comes through.
Hey, what's the big idea? Hey, guns out.
We're going to go ahead and fly down to the lower end, to the southern end of the map, just to see what's going on. So once again, BMP in the north, rolling around. BTR is going to roll around with the southern attack group. There's basically a northern and a southern attack group. They're going to go from their rally point, November 12, or November 13, around here. And they're going to split into the 4 elements, probably move around this lake here in Lima 14. So 2 elements north, 2 elements south. We're probably going to see the southern element pivot right around here. This is going to be kind of dicey. The road levels out right here, or the hill levels out here, but it's still lower than the shelf next to where this field is, this ditch that runs along. I'm pretty sure this is all low ground.
And Rush is ready for live.
Yeah, roger that. We're just waiting for US to finish their getting set up.
So, I also don't know. I'm not sure how many.
They have to be completely.
Not sure what the
supplied before live.
the tree situation is supposed to be around here. I'd have to double check. One of the reasons why I'm
Hey Silas, are
shifting
they
my
allowed to
camera
move
over
off
here.
of the airfield after live?
Yep, expect enemy contact at any location. There could be lat ambushes, so make
Seeing
sure your gunners have their head on a swivel at all times.
seeing helmet marks here.
Copy that.
So there's going to be a faint presence up here in the north.
Quickly going over the
An
areas we might
off-point
get ambushed
presence
from.
to the south. This is probably the main defense squad. If they're not, it's not a squad on the point. Could potentially be light contact over here, because this is also another a favored way to get up here, because this is also low ground. It's covered with a lot of trees.
Have your
The
drivers
ditches are
and-
great cover
and
for
your
moving
FTLs
infantry
check them
up.
out for those machine gun marks. Those are going to be high risk areas for ambushes that are on our
So let
avenue
me just
road.
double check here. Okay, my camera's almost there. Whoops. Live in 2.5 minutes, roughly.
When do you
Seeing
want
some
us to
MG
dismount?
marks. Could
Do
be.
you want us to dismount early? Check the machine gun markers.
Negative. We're probably going to be dismounting at Mike 7 or Mike 14. That's going to be our ORP location.
Mike
Copy.
14. So they're going to push the ORP to the lake itself and
everyone
move
agrees
around
for
the
the-
north-south side of the lake. Now, over here on the west, this is what I'm talking about.
You
Lots of
can move your
trees.
guys to a better
These ditches
dismount
right here
location
are
for
great
you to do so.
cover.
That's just
because you could pretty much run or crouch through.
If you're uncomfortable, dismount at that
If you're anticipating north-south contact,
It's
the
there's
fences
not really
around
good
here
or safe to really
mean
dismount, 'cause
that
it's either you dismount
Russia
far
would
and then you
have to
gotta run across
push
an open field, or you try to get closer
Exact.
and risk getting blasted.
either to this hole in the gate here,
But that's why we got smoked, so whatever.
or
Yeah.
there's also a gate next to, or where the fence
Don't
runs
forget about
out
your
next to
smoke rifles,
the
each of you got one 6-round
makeshift
burst.
tower, I guess. It's not really like a
Just make sure I'm aware
control
when you call
tower,
and
but
hit,
it's
so
just
I don't
a-
accidentally reallocate it and we use more than we're allocated.
it's something. Let's take a look at the the defense area. So you can see the radio's been placed back here. A pretty solid spot, easy to entrench. Blackbeard in command of U.S.
Would it be, well, it's depending
Is,
on entirely if they are set up in the northeast
gonna
side,
start
would
setting
it
up
be
defenses
better
here.
to smoke
I don't think they're
barrage
allowed to build
northeast
until
as we
live.
approach? Or
Yeah.
So now that
smoke barrage?
U.S. is probably ready,
We want to smoke
looks like
their
the
location on
MTLBs
our
are ready for a south departure.
position, so our guys have more visibility than theirs do.
This could be pretty brutal if they're gonna actually go all the way over to the east road. Maybe like sit here, or they could just be waiting off the point to try to react to Russian forces as they come in from a potential eastern approach. Eastern approach gonna be kind of dicey. It's not really it's not really as low as I thought it was, but there is a hillside here. This trench will definitely be used. So it's going to be an open advance for Russian forces. That last little bit is going to be open advance. And like I said, this road is sort of where Russia have to
Get your
turn it up a
engines fired
notch.
11-15.
They could maneuver to this compound here and launch an assault out of here. But they are going into an open field to their west.
Good luck, fellas.
I believe we have
We're
live.
gonna hold the convoy a little bit. I got my guy running in right now, so we're gonna be like
Okay,
5
hold.
seconds out.
This is the lake I'm mentioning earlier. So the dismount point will probably be on top of this hill. Be kind of exposed, but unless they're going to move the convoy all the way down here, which could make a little bit more sense. Or on the north side of this ridge. Probably closer to the tree line here to the northeast. The original ORP. Or Operation Rally Point. Where Silas wanted his guys to dismount at first. We're live for round 1 of Operation Open Road. Just tuned in, it's Russia throwing a mechanized infantry column into a U.S. defense
As we're,
point at the airfield here on Yurivka.
Once we've taken the northeast, where do you want the MTLB to move?
It's a one-life event, which means once players see the give-up screen, they're done for the round.
What was that,
We'll
Scott?
be playing 2 rounds.
Once we've taken the northeast, where do you want the MTLB to go?
Wherever it can support your infantry.
It's like a light U.S. presence here, north side of airfield.
For some reason, the first MTOP is going really slow up the hill.
These
Yeah,
trenches
it's MTLB. They're
in
slower than
the
the BMPs.
trenches in the airfield are going to be pretty important for U.S. to move around. Pretty important for U.S. to actually hold on to. If Russians get into these trenches, you can expect some pretty awesome fighting to take place. It's also going to be bad because these trenches can really push in to the north here. And if Russia was holding, or sorry, if U.S. were holding the northern objective, that's a lot of foot traffic into the objective here that can be pretty unchecked unless you're holding the trench hard. Of course, Russia would then have to get out of the trench. And holding these buildings, the buildings being as they are, I don't think there's a second story element to most of these. To all of these, actually. There's multiple entry points for all these buildings. They're more like warehouses and garages. So, U.S. forces throwing one squad to the west. almost as good as our event last night. Well, I mean, nothing's happened yet, and it's almost as good. Oof. Russians still departing main on the road. In BMP2 leading the charge here. 2 MTLBs following with the BTR 80 in the back. Looks like 1 squad per vehicle. Moving to a dismount point around November 12, November 13. Going to be going on foot from there. Vehicles pushing on the side. The MRAPs far west. Guess they're going to use the elevation over here to try to figure out if Russians are pushing the west side. They're going to be a little disappointed. It's not going to go in their they're not going to go in their favor. But being able to basically roll in hard from another direction, the these MRAPs looks like they are pushing north now. They could just roll to the north here, hit Charlie 11-5, get on the highway, and sort of creep along the highway, looking as far as they can. BMP2 being at the front of the column is going to help them out there. They just have to jump the BTR-80 if they're going to do any damage with these two vehicles. This is probably more of an assault element. See a hat here with Razor. I imagine Bartok definitely gonna have a hat unit. So I imagine these guys are probably the AT-12 tandem warhead hats. There's a U.S. fire team set up down south. Mainly an observation element, I suppose. Modern Death fire team leader here. He's got binoculars. They got a saw. A medic. What's the A-gun going to be here? Probably a lat. Yeah, he's got AT-4 stick on his back. I believe he's going to be a lat. So Squad 1 in the car. They're moving around. Squad 5 and Squad 5 is the commander. Squad 2 is going to be a defense squad, also holding the off point, just like I said. And then you got a Squad West and a Squad North spread out on the buildings, and you just got the Squad West holding the where the Delta is, this trench line. Also holding the point between the fields here. It's a pretty important point, because if the Russians are able to insert here, they're pretty much allowing them to make the west wall of the airfield for free. So this is kind of a necessary position to hold for U.S. Now, if they're going to hold out here the whole time, they probably won't. Once U.S. realize the Russian attack's coming from the east, I imagine this squad is going to pretty much push across the middle of the airfield, Juliet 14, making use of the trench system to probably support the southern end of the squad that's defending in the north end of the airfield. So they'll probably push to here, Juliet 14-6. They'll probably hold this part of the line this part of the trenches here. Meanwhile, we're back here. Looks like the MTLB has fallen to the rear. Is that the MTLB? No, that's the BTR. Okay, so the BTR is rear of the formation. There is an MRAP keeping tabs about a click away now. I think you can barely see it in the center of my screen. MRAP is an open top MRAP, so it's not going to have anything like a hat on it, or like a tow missile launcher on it. Wouldn't that be crazy? BTR getting a wire guided rocket right up the rear end there. Would have been bad. Would have been real bad, actually. Russian motorized column, mechanized column. Having to deal with the MTLBs being a little slow here. Looks like we're going to get a little bit of a bump trap. No, not going to risk glitching the vehicle out. right over the destroyed overpass, under the destroyed overpass. Dodging a static vehicle. Good job, shaky legs. BMP in the front. Looks like Silence driving the BMP. We got Amaranth. I got Amaranth gunning the BMP, Dorf commanding. And this is the main intersection where we're going to see a nice drift. It's about a 6 out of 10. MRAPs are going to be keeping their distance. There also might be a infantry squad on foot here. Looks like the squad leader and their hats have dismounted here. Six is generous. Well, I mean, you gotta grade it on this. You gotta grade it on a curve. Like, 4 is actually executing a drift. I'd say 7 is executing a drift without stopping at the end of it, with the vehicle mechanics being what they are in the game right now, and a 10 would be like, you know, achieving style. Actually, Dorf raising a good point there as he crosses under us in our camera rig here. Hearing that from Alfredo as well. The airstrike, the off-map airstrike, is actually a thing that U.S. have. They get a CAS run, laser-guided bomb, for the U.S. forces. Imagine they're going to be basically saving that for the BTR or the BMP. U.S. forces. Once again, U.S. in red, Russia in blue. U.S. have a CAS bombing run. Russians have off-map artillery smoke missions. Several small barrages, as well as a larger barrage for more effect. Here's the turnoff point, Papa 11-8. BMP leading the way, shifts off the main road. And Russia now begins entering a cautious approach here.
Hey, make sure your gunners are being aware we're coming into ambush territory here.
MRAPs. It looks like they picked up the infantry squads that were running around up here. They're moving around. I think they're being a little over hopeful that the Russians are still on the north side of this map. Obviously, they're about 3 clicks away right now. As we get closer, we'll get enemy icons back here very shortly. See what the U.S. disposition is. Reminder, last we left, there was a U.S. squad north where all these vehicles are. One half squad here on the point with an observation post to the south, about 300 meters. There's also a squad to the west. Now that the MRAPs have, the MRAPs probably spotted these guys on the main road heading east. So I imagine the U.S. disposition has shifted more with an eastern focus. I think the squad that was out here at Hotel 14-3 is probably shifted back to the airfield, the center of the airfield, like Juliet 14-2. Russia now off-road completely. They're turning southwest to their ORP. Seeing the BMP-2 climb the hill here.
That's what I'm scared of.
Actually, we're gonna stop here. We're gonna dismount here. We're gonna sweep that hilltop just to be safe. It's all infantry dismount.
Yep, and Russian now cautioning.
Command, we're gonna sweep this hilltop. Just gonna send out like an advanced team to secure this hilltop since it's kind of key terrain commanding the eastern approach. So we're gonna sweep it first.
Switch to coax so I don't accidentally team kill.
Yeah, you got time.
Looks like Dorf gunning, silent driving the BMP-2 now.
Yeah, find another way
And
out.
Alpha Guido's security squad now going out to sweep the hilltop to their south and probably push a little bit southwest here. Looks like U.S. Squad 4... Oh. U.S. Squad 4, they're Squad 3 squad leaders here. So this was the squad that was holding the west. They've shifted to the east now. Looks like they're gonna... These guys might actually be on the move. Yep, so we're gonna see that squad push out of the northeast side of the airfield.
I'm gonna dismount my squad to head southwest. Clear, yeah.
About 800 meters away now. Looks like Miyamoto's waiting for the rest of his squad to catch up.
I'm gonna dismount. Copy.
We can see this is the squad now pushing out the northeast. What have you missed, Robert Pelican? Nothing right yet.
Stay here and supervise.
Russians are going to be attacking east-west into the airfield. 2 squads now northeast, north section of the airfield, and 1 squad is actually pushing out here. The U.S. also have, looks like, they've dismounted infantry again. So they're looking for something up here, but I don't know what they're looking for because nothing freaking up there. So I imagine these guys are going to be running back to be collected. They're probably going to pop this highway straight south to reinforce the point.
I feel like sitting ducks in these first.
Observation post boys have also fallen off of their post here, Juliet 16-5. I missed the 4 out of 10 drift from the BMP. The only way you can know that if you're in the server and if you're actually talking in the chat right now, I'm going to have to ban you. Oh, no. That's the drift you were talking about earlier. Never mind. Right. Yeah, you missed a 6 out of 10 drift from the BMP earlier. But it's literally not what we're talking about.
Negative, go and start moving to your lineup location.
Russian squad, led by Patrick Star, pushing out furthest west.
Copy that point at east.
I got partial eyes on the airfield from here, but it's only on the south side. I got eyes on 2 of the hangars.
And the mortar's actually up here. Looks like Warrior 5-6.
No movement, no contacts that I can see.
On the mortar, south side of the airfield. US really want to try to test this, I think. That's super weird. I get wanting to push out a little bit. I think Sugar may have spotted these guys. Sugar spotted these guys.
Where? Juliet 15-6.
You know what degree?
Juliet.
Yeah, it looks like they chose. They at least
Oh,
have an
no.
element down there. See if the
So, looks like they spotted the fortifications
Yeah,
southeast
241.
side of the airfield. Fire team's... This fire team is
No
dead.
eyes on fortifications, just the fire team.
They might get the drop on the Russians with infantry about. That's pretty much all these guys are good for. They're moving along these tree lines here.
Just keep moving along the ditch.
Lionhead has a weapon out, and he's still looking to his east, so...
Let's just take cover.
Oh, he's
eyes
looking.
open.
These guys do kind of stick out, but at range, something tells me it's going to be kind of hard to tell from this distance. Unless, Shigard looks to his south.
Alright, go ahead and start lining up this column.
Miyamoto is, trying to get
around-
eyes on.
Mike 1473 is a good OP if
Miyamoto's gonna
eyes
have to
over the
push a little bit
airfield.
further here. Actually,
Whoever's
he's
getting,
in the tall grass,
supposed to
these
do that.
bushes right here.
Yeah, go ahead, go and
I
pull your
imagine he
BMP up
hears
there.
vehicles now, so he's trying to get he's trying to get a
Copy,
read
trying to move
on.
him. I think I see contacts. I'm trying to get him to line up. Just to double check for me, then I'll bring him online.
One
Silas,
has.
do you want me on the
Oh,
southern side of that
Miyamoto's
road?
gonna get himself killed.
Affirm. Not the close road. Yeah, the one that goes north to south. You're on the south side of that.
Miyamoto could get himself killed. The BMP is actually turned towards. There's a little bit of a bush in between. Miyamoto's actually called for all the lats. So we got Pony, and who's the other? Who's the other?
Juliet 1564. There's
you.
at least one person with binos and a LAT, HAT. Not sure. That's just north of that southeastern
Rather
area.
Scottish chap pushing along, using the defilade to get a little bit closer to the airstrip.
There's a lat ambush at the southeast side of the airfield, possibly at.
Roger.
They have eyes on the southeast part of the airfield, but they don't have eyes on Pony and Miyamoto here. And we got D-Leak also pushing up here. For some reason, does he have a tube?
Yes. We should have been in
Copy.
position a few minutes ago.
Silas trying to get his guys to move a little bit. Mainly because they haven't really pushed into contact. Modern Death Squad has stopped moving along the tree line here to South Mike 16-7. BMP engaging targets at range southeast side of the airfield. I
We're
think.
fine at that break. We're called out that lat team.
Ah.
Squad 2
Definitely
ready to
announcing the
move up.
BMP is here. What about the squads to the north? The squad to the north is making tracks off-road. They're going to hit the main highway, come down behind Russia.
Squad 2 is ready to move up.
Russian forces pushing hilltop to hilltop now. U.S. mortars coming out as well.
Is that Morse?
I imagine U.S.
Yeah, confirm. I
got some
think those
eyes
are
on.
mortars.
Miyamoto's probably giving some call-outs here. Mortar rounds coming in. Ooh. It's going to stop this Russian force from pushing in. I don't think that's where you want those mortars to land. U.S. holding fire. And the spacing leaves a little bit to be desired. Oh, a tow comes out and hits one of the MTLBs.
Where'd that tow come from?
Southwest of me. Southwest of me. Possibly on the southern end of airfield.
Do we just lose
Are they gonna? Yep. So the MTLB is down, which
Yeah,
not the
guys are
worst
down.
vehicle to
The
lose.
MTLB.
You kind of expect to lose the MTLBs.
Alright, let's try to get eyes on that.
I got eyes on. I got
And
eyes
the
on
MTLB pops here.
So this is in the bushes to the north of the walled areas.
This looks like Krill there.
Yeah, I need a
I
grid.
think it's Krill or the Harv is actually on the
Wait, what?
MTL or on the tow here. I didn't see that. Yeah, it's
Juliet
Harv
15 and
spotting
67.
for someone that just got off it. More mortars. A little off point
Copy,
here
chosen Juliet
from
15-6. They're gonna be on
US.
the southeastern side of the airfield.
Squad
Patrick, go
1
and search
basically
your
now
squad south
tracing
on
the
line with
Russian
air
route
warrant.
in.
Guido and Scottish, you guys are free to move on the northeastern side and sweep your way
Whoa,
south.
the Russians actually pushed all the way around Modern Death's fire team here.
Copy that.
So I think this is actually kind of big. If Russia could push this squad all the way to the base, there's going to be a mad scramble from US to defend this base. They have nothing else here. They have, looks like a hat, the mortar. If the mortar can get some rounds pre-sighted in pretty quickly here, oh no, and Silas is actually now running out alongside the MTL, or the BTR here in the south. Russian beginning their move west now. The light units have pulled back for US, and This squad is going to hit a brick wall called Miyamoto's squad. It's like a rather Scottish chap, and Alpha Guido has a element up here as well. Mortars coming out from US. This is a pretty rough push right here. Beware is going to come up and over. Let's see if US can get a first kill here. Mortar rounds. Muffin Man just eats it. The first kill goes to US mortar rounds. Beware gets tapped, looks like. Rather Sky's chap is also hit, and the Russians have hit the US line. BMP trying to provide cover. Smoke's now coming in. Russians were able to hit the deck, find some trees here, the bushes. Border's still too far.
You want us to wrap around to the south?
Pony has his rifle out. I thought he was for a second he was grabbing his AT-4. US holding their ground right now. I imagine they're waiting for these mortars to just destroy. Right now, it ain't happening. The mortars are still firing far. By about 50 meters. If it wasn't... Mortars are still off. The Russians adding a lot of smokes here. US deciding to fall back. They're going to fall back along the tree line here. Into the ditch next to the field.
We need you guys getting down here so we can smoke this up and move.
And an engagement. 2 kills Russia, 2 kills US. Got a lot of blind firing here from Russia. Frag rocket fired. Appears to be a miss. With all these smokes up, you'd think Russia would try to push it a little bit further here, but Russia, content to hold their position, fire through the smoke. U.S. collapsing back to the next line of defense, the ditch next to the main north-south highway. And we also have Modern Death's element now moving around to the back. The MRAPs have split up. Looks like infantry dismounts from one of the MRAPs. MRAPs to the north definitely going to come into play here soon. You got Bartok on that hat unit. He's definitely going to hit some shots. The tow is still... oh, the tow got destroyed. So the BMP destroyed the tow at range.
How far around?
Or they dug it and they're moving it. Which could also be a thing.
North of his BTR? Or further southwest, west?
Where's Zabari? I don't know.
Yeah,
no, he's
Warriors are neutralized.
Redip is still crawling away. I think they're going to get back into vehicles and move around here. These guys are actually asking to get mortared. But they are moving away now.
So you want me going all the way around to the southwest side, direct south, or you want me coming in more from the east?
Sorry, these guys are asking to mortar, but they are moving away.
Okay,
we are airborne
Scottish, you're approaching from the northeast.
in a fire team plus element, holding position.
Moving northwest now.
We're going to take a look
from the south.
here in the south.
So we're coming in from the north.
Do these guys have a lat?
Sorry, southeast team.
It's just Aegon.
Northeast, however you need to. Just that way you get in the fight quicker. I don't want you running along. Make sure you use your smokes before you assault, but we're all ready to go now.
MTLB moving up the road. That'd be a perfect shot for a lat unit to hit. The US MRAPs. Ooh. Here comes one of the hunter-killer teams. And now we're seeing Russian smoke missions entering the fray here. This should be a red flag for US forces that they need to collapse back to the objective. And we're seeing that now. Looks like we got a... Phoenix is driving a vehicle along the airstrip. Fire team's moving around the west side. Russians doing some shooting here. Or the US doing some shooting here. Now the Russians in combat. Fire team pushing in the open.
Can I reswing a lot of
The BTR, or sorry, the BMP is still hanging out here by itself, but with only one lat shot realistically hitting it right now, it's not going to be worth. Or it's going to be a tough thing to engage, and all those smoke things just went away. Looks like the barrage is coming in. All the smoke barrage is coming in. The Russians basically walk across the street in all of the smoke cover.
This bush here on the north side. Go north, go north.
I think the Harv got deleted.
There's infantry in here, so watch.
My MQ will push the southern flank.
Got it.
It's a good thing the smoke mortars don't actually hurt people that much, I guess, because hit by one of those shells would be bad.
Alright, follow it up. Let's secure that rate.
Russian BTR is pushed in here. Blackbeard's still on this mortar, or he's in the, next to the mortar.
Possibly they hammered it pretty hard with the BMP.
And the first U.S. reinforcements are now making it back to the point. But the Russians hold the point now.
Infantry west, 300 meters.
Ooh, yeah, I'm worried about the
Most looking not. We should assume that they probably disassembled it and moved it somewhere else.
So they're anticipating the...
Have we located the radio? Yep, we have located the radio. Okay, all elements pull in
And that's it. The Russians take down the radio. The U.S. can't build their tow back up. That's a significant loss in their defensive capability. Meanwhile, the U.S. are just moving in the open now. Smoke's being added here. This is going to give their position away. But no one's looking, really. Subway Samurai. Oh, the BTR. BTR and the MTLB now looking to engage. Krill dies after wandering the smoke for so long. Meanwhile, Oddball has a... oh, if he gets that grenade right on the radio. He throws it too far. Oddball jumps. 1, 2, 3. Oddball, the mad lad. And then Airborne versus Oddball. Looks like Oddball took a hit. He's going to have to fall back. Everyone, that fire team just basically died. Is that a mortar?
Did you guys put the radio down?
Sugar just ran over Blackbeard. Moneyman and Shia looking for Blackbeard here. Blackbeard not giving him anything. Shia might die. Nope, Blackbeard's not looking. We're gonna turn our way back. We're turning our vision back up here. Oddball's still living on the point. Subway Samurai gets killed by the by the BMP as it runs in.
We're already thinking probably.
This is a bad thing. It's bad for U.S., obviously. The Russians are able now to send forces all around here. I think the BMP got hit, question mark? I don't know. The MTLB, or sorry, the MRAP is now hitting the BMP.
What is shooting at us?
I don't know.
Oh, is that on
No, 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 no.
Cass is coming in.
Oh, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Oh, looks like the Cass came off. Oh, never mind. It came on the point. 5 Russians die in one blow. Russian command dies as part of that blast, but the BMP-2 is still up.
What's your status in there?
13 kills Russia, 6 kills US. Not looking good for US. The radio is still up for US forces. They're not going to be able to make much use of it anymore. You see the US disposition now. Russian reinforcements coming in from the east. US not going to be able to stop them.
I think they're dead.
Looks like maybe a vehicle kill at range.
Coming in east.
What's the
Potentially.
squad 2?
They've ditched the vehicle to the
Wherever
north.
you can support the northern side from, do your best.
And the radio is
Radio
down.
is fully down on my position. We're gonna hold this area for now.
So this now becomes a defense operation for Russia
How is 3 doing right now?
with about a squad's advantage here.
All squad, northeast side of the airfield.
BMP lets loose a cornet
Copy.
and
Soldiers are gonna
or
be coming from the
the
airfield
tow.
proper.
Meanwhile, the BMP, they,
If not, they're gonna
looks
be
like they
coming
took a
down
shot
the
at the
first line by the
BMP.
road.
No damage, no damage.
BMP holding solid.
Alright, 4, we're gonna be taking a position. Just
Oh,
north of the
D-Leak and
radio
Pony,
position. So we're gonna be,
pushing up this
north
trench
security.
here. Brute has binocs up, and he's going to walk
Four,
straight into
three is
Pony's
gonna
rifle
take
here.
over the west.
1, 2, 3.
Roger that.
Bing, bing,
My
bong.
squad's at half strength right now, so we're gonna stay
Brute's
on the
dead. Pony and D-Leak now looking around here.
Copy that.
I think Quick Scratch might have seen. I don't know. Oh, that seemed like a
We just
frag
lost
rocket.
squad to the east.
I think a frag rocket hit up there. I don't know why I didn't hear an explosion, but Pony and D-Leak, either frag rocket or grenade. Pretty rough. Russian smoke now coming
Yeah, my
in.
BMP's moving, pulling
Pony
east,
and
trying to
D-Leak
get
running
that
away. That's a great chip away at the Russian force from the U.S. That's the kind of attacks they need right now, and the multiple directions, the more directions that U.S. are able to push in here, the limited forces they have to keep the Russians on their toes, it's going to be important. Russians trying to just fire down the trench here, I think, but Pony and D-Leak have gotten away. Yeah, that's pretty blind fire right now. The BMP is, oh no. The BMP is running straight to a, let's see, there's a hat here. Who's this hat? It's Razor. They also have Imanaz and Yegon. The fire team has come back. Pony and D-Leak, I think, are going up the hill now. They're trying to chase this BMP. And then the BTR is over here as well. This could be really bad. They gotta pull these vehicles out. There's no other vehicles for them to chase. At this point, they're simply chasing infantry. Pony's gonna crest the hill here. He's got his AT-4 out and ready to fire. Pony's crested the hill. Vehicles don't know he's there. Stationary shot. Pony shoots over. Pony misses. Another rocket misses. Unless the BTR got destroyed. Nope, the BTR is way north.
Squad 1 and 4 B.
Missed shots on stationary targets from U.S. Bad news. Quick Scratch gets ragdolled, LOL. Yikes. That was probably the best chance these vehicles are going to have to directly to get hit by a rocket right now. Vehicles now moving out. Pony's not going to have a chance to respond there. Meanwhile, in the north, on the eastern side of the airfield, U.S. forces trying to use the trenches to get back into striking distance of their old FOB location. Meanwhile, one of the MTLB, the remaining MTLB rather, for Russia, and an AR team have taken the elevated position here in the tower.
Feel free to engage those contacts to the northeast.
You're doing all the work, man. You got us here.
Solid.
Alright.
See, Boogie's a team player like that.
Money, why don't you go ahead and get up here?
Russians got a pretty solid grasp on what's going on here. Don't see any U.S. soldiers to the south, just north and east. Looks like we're getting reorganized for a push here, east to west. Uba just kills Viper at range, and Modern Death just got smacked by a round. Stark is killed by the BMP. BMP switches to HE. He's going to try to get some dead zone, dead space engaged here. And looks like the U.S. soldiers are just finding cover. Ooh. Uba actually gets a couple of hits there. As U.S. finally able to concentrate fire on the MG position. Look at Redibus using part of this destroyed vehicle wall.
East, slightly southeast. My BMP is currently engaging.
Oh hey, look. It's the other MRAP. It's coming back. Kind of good. The north is basically cut off here. BTR is now moving up to engage.
I don't want them hitting ourselves at all.
They have no lats in the north to deal with this BTR. All of US's remaining anti-tank weaponry is in the south. Oh, I say that, and Bartok is now running over here. Bartok could definitely make a difference here in the north, especially if this BTR assumes that he's just,
Airborne,
you
are
know,
we allowed to move north?
good to go.
My squad feels confident to clear out these trenches.
Patrick Star wants to get aggressive here and clear the north trenches system. Kind of smart, really.
Can you call that position again, that MRAP?
Oh, so Russians spotted the MRAP moving to the southeast.
That's taken.
You said you had a position on MRAP?
Negative. We wanted to move north, help clear these trenches.
Yeah, that's fine. We have a pretty good...
McCarty and Appa pushing through the trenches here, but they've been spotted.
My PMP and a fire team, a 3-man fire team on the north side. I'm taking a...
Rocket goes out there. Saw Gunner ducking down, back up on one knee with a bipod deployed. How do you do that?
Like too far south around us. Alright, solid.
I don't know. Bipod on one knee? I don't think you can deploy a bipod on a knee. Might just be how it appeared.
Guy ran up halfway across the river.
BMP cuts off Bartok from crossing the road. Bartok's still looking okay. HE now coming out from the BMP cuts off the US forces. They gotta move across, so they gotta add smoke to get across that road. They might shift a little bit north here. Bacon and Bartok looking like they want to try to take a shot at the BMP.
Alright, Roger, 3.
BMP's stationary, but kind of a crazy shot to hit with a tandem warhead from here. Yeah, deploying the bipod on a friendly unit is verboten. Let's take a look at the U.S. forces. Looks like the MRAP transported a fire team to the south, and they're going to run up south to north. Get a bunch of fire being shot out here as the BTR and the MTLB are just looking around for people to shoot.
To our northeast.
Like I said, there's no AT up here to deal with these vehicles, except for Bartok, who's not crossed the road. Oh yeah, so if you look up with the, if you look up when you're deployed on a point, your body actually physically goes down behind the cover.
So have you got eyes on the airfield itself?
So that's a way to keep your bipod deployed on a specific point, so you can like sort of hide real quick.
Sweet, Roger.
Guido, how you doing northeast?
Then you can come back up and reacquire your reference a lot quicker than having to deploy the bipod over again, shifting to another position.
Copy. I have a strong feeling that that element is pretty much squashed. I think
You're advertising that you're there, but it is kind of a it's a more of a time saver more than anything.
As much as they can, and hopefully we'll mop this up.
To the south, fire team getting closer to cresting this hill. Minimal Russian presence defending the point. A few riflemen. Yeah, your body actually physically goes behind the cover, and the gun is pointed up. So, like, say if you see old geezer here, if he had a bipod on his weapon and he was looking down, the tip of his rifle would be, the tip of his rifle, probably all the way up to his hand, would be pointed up, and his body would be below the top of the cover. The same principle applies to open-top MRAPs, which we won't see for a minute. But it's the same principle. If you look up, you can. If you look up with the while you're in the MRAP, you can more safely reload your weapon.
Stand by.
Looks like someone tried to cross the road. Bacon got crossed, but he got lit up pretty hard. These guys are just stuck here. HE now,
Currently, we're
HE from the
still clearing
BMP
trenches.
taking a few shots at infantry. Yuri gets hit, trying to, or he was positioned next to the road, just caught some frag there.
The northeast still.
Russians in the south, or sorry, U.S. soldiers in the south now getting close to the
That's the east road, east side
to
of the road.
the base.
of the airfield proper.
Ivanaz,
So
the
one gonna be
lat
walking
here,
towards it.
needs to stay alive.
MTLB
And here we go, contact, quick scratch.
side of the airfield if we can.
Copy that. Working on it.
Holding off. Oh, he's gonna jump to. Oh, quick scratch. Kuba, 1. And Ivanaz drops straight to his knees.
Contacts close south on the compound.
Ivanaz versus Kuba. Kuba looking for more. Kuba bipods up. Takes Ivanaz's head off. Lightning and Razor, the last two left over here. I say that, but there's also a fire team creeping up through the field towards Kuba's rear.
How close are those contacts to the south? Can you handle them?
Kuba might actually see those guys as they run around. U.S. still held to their positions in the north. Razor makes it across, and it's a shot on Clamar, it looks like. Kuba doesn't know Bonner Death's right behind him.
You guys keep pushing through that.
Razor goes down. And meanwhile, the BMP looks like it killed some more to the north. Looks like the Harv died.
Down to your south-southwest.
Ooh. Oh no. The BMP is dead. The BMP went off by itself. And Bartok killed it. Oh no. Why?
BMP's down, heads up. They still got a hat up to the north.
Russia
Copy. Okay, pull off the north. and we're
needs
getting
to
pushed
save their
south right
BTR.
now. MTLB, try to stay out of,
BTR rolling straight back down to Kuba here.
Let's flip.
Oh, lightning getting lit up by the other MTLB. Gets hit twice. Looks like a rocket. They just tried to shoot the BTR? I don't know. If they did, it was too close to arm, but that doesn't make sense. That's definitely close enough to arm. BTR now looking in the field. Update, 23 kills Russia, 12 kills US. It's now still not going in US's favor, but...
Guido, how much infantry do you have up on the north side there?
Kuba's basically stuck here, but he's got the drop on anyone that tries to get out of this field. We're gonna take a look at the north. It's kind of a bummer the BMP died. I don't know why the BMP felt compelled to push up there. Meanwhile, Shughart has a fire team, had a fire team. Now it's just him against the fire team in the US, and he gets gunned down by your Nightmare and Chicken. I think right in the crossfire there as he tries to go out.
Guido, Roger, Guido, once you...
So 5 US up here in the north. I think it's just 5. Fire team now starting to get antsy. There's still Arcady and Appa. They went all the way around the western wall. Looks like they never really came back in. Kind of amazing they made it across the field. Great awareness there. Kuba kills Modern Death. And Urtzi body blocks?
Hey, Guido, you copy?
Yeah, I copy. What's going on?
Definitely.
I had,
Kuba doesn't see... Urtzi doesn't see Kuba.
Your infantry's gonna clear out that area of buildings if you can.
Aegon here.
Copy, be advised, the guy that was with me. Yeah, no, we're just, we're more than certain that they're pushing in the trench line that's on the east side of this road, so we're gonna cut south and move down this trench line and just head back to you guys.
BTR is gonna park itself
I don't think there's too much left.
in a pretty solid position here.
To the north somewhere. Yep. My MTOB took a hit.
Appa 80, I think. It's definitely enough to deal with the 2 vehicles that Russia have remaining now. Of course, US gonna have to push off the point here. Boogie puts his MTLB in harm's way. Bartok is looking for the opportunity to strike here.
Did you get him?
Oops. This Bartok is a Moz. And try to shoot through. Looks like not gonna work for him.
See him?
For every genius play Bartok makes, you know, I wouldn't say for every, like for every like 3 or 4 genius plays Bartok makes, he's got to miss sometime, right? Chicken crawl in the middle of the road. Why did a chicken cross the road? The world may never know.
There's another guy in the trench.
And Lip is right in front of. Oh, smoke.
Get the fuck out of here.
And Lip dies. Lip Pundit dies. And Bartok fires another smoke round. That time it actually arms, and it's gonna cut off the MTLB. Appa and Akardi's still living. Akardi's pushed himself up to a bush. Keeping an eye on. Meanwhile, Shia and Patrick Star going to be adding some fire support from range. Looks like Bartok and company tried to move south in the open. Your Nightmare and Bartok now the last ones remaining. Shia and Patrick Star getting lit up by Miyamoto and company. Beef Baby and Miyamoto firing through the end of that shelter. And looks like Appa and Akardi now made their presence known. Patrick Star and Shire are stuck. Russians holding out here.
And that MTB goes down, then I'll send the BTR up to help.
They're pushing us, Patrick. We should probably get out of here.
Probably.
Have we confirmed that they were in the trench line, or are they in the warehouse building still?
They were outside the warehouse.
Patrick Star gets cut down.
Ah, shit.
And Shia's stuck. Patrick Star thought he was safe. I guess they didn't know that Appa and Akardi were behind him.
Yeah, 3 down.
Where did he go down at?
He's in the hangars close to the tower, I think.
Copy. We're gonna haul ass through these trench lines here.
Dagon and Earthsea gonna
so we're gonna start moving.
sneak up here.
Copy.
Sneaking through the field. Redibus has eyes on the field over here to his east.
Shots from southwest.
We have infantry at the hangars to the west here. To the west.
BTR is gonna roll around. Ooh, Diego might have a chance to get a shot here. Does he have AT loaded? He might. Aegon puts one into the rear of the BTR. And the BTR is going to roll back. I guess the BTR is going to roll back.
This is good cover for now.
Russia getting their exfil soon as Russia has secured the airfield.
Contact up here in the trench line. We're continuing to push.
US going to need to step up their timetable to do anything to try to take back what's happening here. MTLB kills Miyamoto as it pushes down the airstrip. Beef Baby, Predator, and Bartok just camping out here in the middle of the airstrip in this trench. More observers than players. Well, I mean, you know, we'll die. At a certain point, there's going to be people spectating. It's the circle of life. Oh, Lord Chanka and Alpha Guido.
Alright, good.
Lord Chanka might have an eye on Bartok. Bartok turns on him, not able to put a round on Chanka though.
We have actual contacts hitting our east, southeast again, but there's also infantry moving towards the south end by the hangars.
Oh!
Oh, god damn it! Boogie, you son of a bitch!
Oh no. Boogie. Chanka now gonna have to solo Beef Baby and Predator. Meanwhile, ooh, Shia took out a Cardi? Question mark? No, Shia didn't take out a Cardi. The BTR took out a Cardi. Appa's running around to the southeast, or southwest. Ooh, Chanka could get these two guys if he pops around the corner before Beef Baby is able to turn it. And he's gonna be like, jackpot! Predator's down. Beef Baby comes up. Beef Baby gets hit. And shot in the face for good measure. Shanka clears out the airfield itself. Looks like Aegon attempted to come across. Clamar's dead. Clamar tries to cross. I think it might be just Clamar here on the southeast and Appa still living on the southwest. Kuba's going to run across here and try to find who's in this field.
We got enemies behind the hangars.
And Kuba kills Aegon.
Infantry in the hangars. Where's the rest of your platoon, sorry, your squad?
And I believe...
Is there anyone still up here?
I believe all we have left is Appa, and Appa's making a move. BTR is still suppressing the hangar area.
Okay, copy.
Appa's a little further off, but I think the BTR might see him run. Nope, the BTR was looking.
Okay.
And Appa's gonna run around here. So that's gonna be round one.
A1.
Pretty much done here, just waiting for the formality. 37 kills gonna be for Russia here at the end. 17 kills for US right now. I think Appa... BTR are now shooting coax to the west here. All going to come down to if Appa can get any more kills here, but 17 kills for US.
What's the issue? Are they lost tracks or something?
Kind of a crazy situation here. US were able to, Russia were able to actually get into the point and take it pretty convincingly. Some slip-ups in the attack for Russia. US were able to get a bunch of kills collectively together, but not enough to turn the tide, and US were too disconnected to make a real push back. They weren't able to turn south fast enough to deal with the Russian hold of their firebase. And I think Kuba might spot him once Appa gets through these bushes. No Russian presence here to the south. BTR and the MTLB going to come down here. Appa has 3 minutes to clear off everyone and destroy vehicles with an AR. He spots Kuba, takes some shots at him.
Contact southeast.
Kuba has to find cover. Appa is going to let Appa get across. If Appa gets some kills here, that'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty good meme here. Appa's going to go right up and over, and the BTR is going to see him cross this road here. And if he doesn't get shot in the back, he will get shot by old geezer holding the south doorpost. And that's going to be GG for round one. A convincing win for Russia, 37-17. Russian assets remaining oh man, the memes and post live. We are going to take a break here. And we will be right back with round two here in just a couple minutes. All right, welcome back for round 2. Gonna get going with this here in a second. Players reconnecting, getting everyone back organized for another go at Operation Open Road. I'm bcarr, bringing you guys round 2. Open Road, if you're not familiar with it, Russians are throwing everything they got at the U.S. airfield. Everything they have includes a couple of armored vehicles with some autocannons, and a couple of armored vehicles without the autocannons. Shocking. U.S. on the other hand have about 12,000 build points, a mortar, a tow, and a platoon full of defenders ready to defend the airfield, hold out against the Russian aggressors here on Yurevka. Commands have flipped from, I'm just going to turn that off, the more like fine-tuned volume control for when I do that. I'll make a note of that. So, commands have flipped. We're going to be following Russia in blue. So that means Blackbeard now running Russia with Phoenix, Harv, Miyamoto, and Bacon Batman. For U.S., Silas commanding U.S. in red with Airborne, Patrick Starr, the Alpha Guido, and a rather Scottish chap. We saw in round 1, we saw a east-west push for Russia that worked out really well. It was positioned in the right place. Just to go over what was going on here. Let's see, we were closed sidewalks first round. Should be this time. Open roads. Closed. Box. Closed. Closed airport. Airspace. Did it. All right. Let's see if we can talk to some of these guys on the ground here. Wow, it's a good thing I muted what was going on the ground here. Actually going to leave my squad real quick. We're going to go on the ground here. Just talk to some of these guys about their about what happened last time. Onyx.
Beer Jam was my first vehicle to drive. No.
Oh, he's a squad leader. I shouldn't be talking. Sorry, I shouldn't be talking to you.
Oh, really? Alright.
We're talking to people that we can actually talk to.
I like this 14.5. It's really accurate. It's easy to shoot.
But there is no stabilization. So I need to correct you.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I guess I.
So much?
Why? You have a problem with that?
Guys, just be quiet for a second,
Yeah,
please.
it's very annoying.
Oh, I was
Stop.
going to talk to them. This seems kind of like a bad situation waiting to happen. It's a good thing the helicopter has not been moved.
What?
Yes.
What's going on here?
This is garbage game, right? Refund. Steam refund immediately.
How many hours have you logged?
Look at this perfect
Oh,
VP to jump on. Look at that.
Like 400.
400.
400.
Cheap.
Bacon, how are you going to use this BMP to secure victory this round?
It's not mine, so I don't get
He's not, because Bacon can't hear a fucking thing!
Actually, we're at 29 TPS right now, so we're doing pretty good.
If command comes is breaking up for you, you could reconnect. Restart your game or something.
I mean,
Blackbeard, my VTR is much nicer place to do command brief from.
Right, I'm down one. Can we get another one in
Hey,
here?
Blackbeard, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, Bacon, just let the admin know if they can pull
You
somebody.
were on your way to Grandma's house on trick or treat, and I put a bullet through your cap. Fuck
What?
you, liberal!
You're right.
Okay? Fuck you! I
Wow.
love my grandma!
Wow.
I know, I went there and got the candy for you.
Wow.
Oh, no, no!
There's a lot of turmoil going on right now.
That's a lot of
I
double
think
entendre I don't need in my
Blackbeard's
life.
about ready
alright?
to give a briefing, but I don't know.
Hey, Phoenix.
I feel like there's a lot of tension going on between all of us right
Yeah,
now.
that's my
I
bad,
think we just
Roger.
need to
I
have a
literally
detox.
fell asleep at like 8 p.m. after getting home from work. I slept
Bartok.
for like 14 hours. It's absurd.
Yeah.
How did it feel to get the most unnecessary BMP kill in the history of squad ops last round?
It felt good.
I've slept for a whole day.
Because, I mean, between you and me,
It was crazy.
I'm actually kind of surprised you made it across the road at all, to be honest.
Same.
Oh,
I thought you would have gotten cut up by the BMP. I'm surprised the BTR didn't
I
drive
would
over
as
there.
well. Yeah, like I think both teams could have played better, especially our team.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't want to critique what US did last round within earshot of the command. But you know, it was a thing that happened. And I wanted to say that you guys just got unlucky.
Yeah.
The Russian
So
the Russian position last round was just superior from the get-go.
Yeah, but
Okay,
then
never
I'm getting
mind.
yelled
Go
at,
for
so.
it, man. Go for it.
Everybody look at him. Everybody look at him. Watch him. Watch him. So
What are we keeping you? Is my interview keeping the operation from proceeding?
Yeah.
Go
It's,
for it.
don't worry, Mika, are you cool? If you finish, it's fine. Don't worry. I've just got platoon brief to give to my platoon.
All right.
It's
Well,
all-
let
it's
me
all good. Don't worry, buddy.
disappear so you can do that.
In your
Okay.
own fucking time.
Oh my god.
He's gone.
Just
What happened?
What happened?
Just as quickly as I can here.
All right, boys. Come on. Come on.
All right. Maybe we're getting a platoon brief now.
Comms.
Yeah, let's get calm.
You have to be invited for the live games of squad ops. You don't have to be invited,
Phoenix
but
is
you do
gonna
need to
shoot
take our
someone.
basic SOTT course.
You stop moving
To
and you
require
stop talking,
our
I'll consider
basic.
not doing it.
Yikes! We're gonna hop over here. Basic SOTT course is required for participation.
Who's
We got one of
standing
those on the calendar for
Okay, they
tomorrow.
just killed themselves. Never mind. Frenzy. And you
Yikes.
come. Right. Okay.
Okay,
cool.
here we go.
Unlucky
Briefing
last
for round 2.
Classic case of the US theory not investing in its communications network, and that ended up fucking us. But don't worry, we're going to do a lot better this round, I hope. Very simple plan. We are going to move. We're going to split the forces. We're going to send both MTLBs, which will be the Harv squad / Modern Death, depending on if Harv's
He's
ISP
back.
holds up. All right, cool. Harv and Bacon are going to stage north of the airfield in the town, and basically get into a nice firefight. You know, do firefight things. Advance on the north side of the airfield. Meanwhile, Phoenix and Miyamoto are going to be driving the BTR and the BMP-2. They're going to move to roughly the quarry area around the sort of Foxtrot 15-4, yeah, where that marker is, 3 marker is. They're going to disembark their squads, and then they're going to move. Phoenix is going to take the southern route in, and Miyamoto is going to take the slightly sort of westerly route in, using the depression as and where possible. They will be infiltrating. Once they have secured the southwest corner of the airfield, we will then roll the VIX in. We'll give them the old kaboom boom, and we'll be back in time for tea and or medals, or whatever the Russians do. Vodka and
Potatoes.
medals, I guess. Okay.
Cool luck.
Pick your whatever you
Pudding.
prefer. Okay, I'm an equal opportunity employer in the hierarchy of the Russian army. That's pretty much the plan. It's not very difficult. Good luck this round, guys. If you have any questions, direct them to your squad leads. They might direct them to me, and I may give you an answer. Anyway, good luck. Have fun, and see you on the other side.
All right. So basically, the foil of what we had for round 1. We're gonna have the Russians coming in west to east. Gonna be southwest to northeast as well. Also, we're going to be a small force probably tanking from the town here, Juliet 12-4. But I imagine the main portion of the force is going to be to the west here. Makes a lot of sense. Easier for vehicles
So Phoenix, you're taking both the BMP
to not die to the toe if they're in the south. So we'll see what happens with U.S. Deployment here. Because by all indications, looks like U.S. wanted to take the northwest section of the airfield.
Which one of the BMP or the BTR has space in it for command?
Just a reminder, Russians have a BMP-2. They also have a BTR-80. They have a couple of MTLBs for troop transport purposes.
Okay, Blackbeard. Now that
But
I'm back
the main
stable,
the main
what am I
backbone of
doing
their
again?
push is going to be the BTRs getting the BTR and the BMP getting the MTLBs troops there. Oh my gosh, there's a bunch of laughing going on right now in command.
And you're just going to have a firefight, all right? You're going to be weapons loud, kicking the shit out of the people in the north, okay?
Good
Keep
to
it as
know.
busy as you can. Get yourself
Seeing
flanked
U.S.
by
forces
them,
now put
type as many
themselves
dudes as
in
you can,
here. Looks like
and just
one MRAP. Well, we're gonna move away as
you're taking
Russians get their vehicles staged here.
Phoenix, do we have a space in that BTR BMP2?
Answer a question. Keanu Buko asking, so we have to have training to join. Yes, it's not a publicly open game, although our basic SOTT courses are open to the public. So if you have the basic SOTT course done, you're able to sign up for pretty much 90 to 95% of what is on our calendar at squadops.gg. That's also the website you want to go to, the link to Discord, get everything started.
So we're probably gonna get contact before you even dismount.
That's fine. All you gotta
That's
do
the way
is
to start the
just do your thing,
process,
have a
is
fight,
going
kill some
there.
stuff, you know?
Alright. So. Let's see. Russians getting themselves organized. We're probably going to have a little bit of a downtime as U.S. get themselves organized. As you may have heard may remember from last round, overheard that U.S. going to need to dump their supplies first from other lodges, or they're able to begin the round. They're not able to build before live, but they will be
waiting for us to stage.
we're going to be waiting for U.S. to stage their base here, which means getting their guys out and probably getting them the real quick briefing first. Oh, this is kind of a cheeky position. Silent's going to put his MRAP here in the hangar, which means it'll be able to cover everything here without minimizing the attack to its back. Russians aren't going to be able to see this from here. But well,
alright, can we just drop the engine? Can we get those on?
Yeah. Hold on one second. It's like he's gonna. Oh, doggo time. Things have to happen for doggos. We've got a lifetime of about 2 minutes away. Rolling down here just to listen to what
I think so. Just get in
the Russians are going to be talking about here.
Okay, I'm in.
Should be 9 spots for you, that
Alright, I'm out again.
Phoenix is not probably. We have electric powered 30 mics. Some place to walk.
Blackbeard, did you get out before I got back in? Do you want to actually confirm?
No, you were in by the time I got out.
Okay.
Yeah, you both were.
Oh my god, the peace and quiet.
Oh yeah, okay, here we go,
So-
lads. Right,
it's
ready?
so great.
Sons of Gondor,
Oh
of
my
Rohan,
god. Oh my god.
brothers, I see in your eyes the same fear that would take the hearts of me. A day may come when the courage of men fails, when we forsake our friends and break all bonds of fellowship. But it is not this day. An hour of wounds and shattered shields when the age of men comes crashing down. But it is not this day. This day we fight. By all that you hold dear on this good earth, I bid you stand, men of the West. This is a substantially long speech than I thought it
This is
was.
Sparta.
How's that?
What about the points? Finished.
That's why you
running out in
lost.
40 seconds.
Sparta.
Sparta.
Oh fuck, we're live in 40 seconds. Mount up.
Jesus Christ.
Ура!
The commander doesn't even know what
Ура,
it is.
наконец-то,
Oh, no.
блядь.
Hey,
Hurrah!
Oh, we'll be fine.
All right, guys.
All right.
Remember, guys, they got toes, and they can take us out with
Wait, is Phoenix gonna
one shot.
surf the BMP? No, there's no
20
reason.
seconds, boys. Let's get this.
Silence.
Easy clap. Easy clap. No deaths. Nobody died.
Silencio.
Easy clap.
Engines on. Let's get this done.
Whoever dies gets executed.
It's illegal to die.
I believe the response to that is Dan's game. We're live with round 2. Operation Open Road. And we shall leave the Russian column to advance. I shall mask my movement across the entire map using some tactical discussion about what is going on. Looks like a tow has been constructed, Juliet 13-1. Pretty great position for it, considering there's no fence over here anymore. So the tow is going to be able to cover pretty much this entire northern sector, and even this main road. There are some trees around here that's going to block its visibility, which means it's going to potentially block the tow missiles from being fired out towards the east. But I think there's enough elevation here to actually have it shoot overall this position. Maybe get a bit further down the road here. I'm having a little bit of trouble with my Chatterino.
Blackbeard, are we going to turn into the next?
Oh,
or are we going to be heading
can't
super
find.
south and then
Oh
cut
my.
over east?
Hi guys, I'm not able to see the chat right now, but I will fix this in due time.
You can go after the next turn. Use the
Okay.
You'll get to
Need to get
this
my
mark.
chat
Stand by. Delta 9. As soon as you move into the Delta 9 grid, start cutting east. Get onto that. Take those dirt roads across.
Delta 9, cut
Basically,
east? I mean, I
Okay,
think he
that's
means
fine.
west there.
Delta 1069. Okay, that crossroad. Use those those roads moving out east.
Oh, okay, so he's gonna have his guys come around here, hit this intersection, and go through these villages to pop down here to this village.
Right, comms are so far pretty good. Let's hope they stay this way.
Oh my.
Don't worry, I've got 3 levels of communication redundancy. The last one being I just run over and hit you in the head until you understand what I'm saying.
That's abuse. Blackbeard is talking about physically abusing his
And believe me, I will run
subordinate
2 kilometers
officers.
to tell you what you need to be doing.
I'm pretty sure that's a war crime. Anyway, we got U.S. troops in position here. Pretty tight defense. 3 squads on point. Hunter-killer team of Dubisku and Lord Chanka running out to the west here.
Command them to go on off-road direct south, just cut onto the MSR here.
All right, I'm not going to be able to watch YouTube chat as Restream has decided it is unable to handle the requirements of being constantly online. So I am pulling up the Twitch chat. Many apologies. I can pull that chat up. Meanwhile, MRAP. Daniel rolling out here by himself, question mark? So, wait. So that must mean the 4 squad must be on foot. That's what I'm taking away from the situation. I think squad 4 is on foot somewhere, probably to the east. Wouldn't it be crazy if they just ran over here to November 13 and just like sort of sat there? Be too far away. But it's possible. The Russian position is actually kind of split up here. They've all taken different routes. MTLB taking the ditch here to Echo 9-6. This MTLB from that's being driven by Urtzi with the Harv squad is off-road. And we have BTR and the BMP-2 gonna probably go south of the overpass down here at Charlie 11. Matter of fact, BMP-2, they're both doing that. Brilliant. Okay, so Lord Chanka, this is actually if these guys got the courage to actually run over here, they could probably get here before the vehicles roll up. Whew. How crazy would that be? Hat kill on a BMP or a BTR with a squad of infantry in it. That'd be the most unfortunate thing ever.
Okay, Miyamoto, your team will dismount at the Delta 1481 grid, and then you will take that depression heading west. Heading east, sorry.
Delta 1481. So, okay, so they're going to basically use this ditch the entire way. Ditch running from Delta 1481 runs all the way to the airfield. Matter of fact, we're right over top of it right now, and this is the intersection. This is the bridge, sort of intersection of that of the ditch with the road. So we'll be seeing the Russians coming in here from the north here momentarily. Pretty smart here. Can't log into SquadOps website. SquadOps.gg. If you're having login issues, shout out to the general help channel in our Discord. That way we can, someone can work with you, get you logging back in. If not, just try to send a request for a reset password. If you know your username or your email address, could always help expedite that issue. If not, you might just double... Oh, Lord. Just double check and make sure that you have cookies enabled.
Alright, Phoenix, bring the rest of the boys.
Clear cache, try to relog in. BMP continuing to roll down the road. Miyamoto's squad hops out with from the BTR.
Delta 1691.
MTLB's crossing the road, on the road here. Looks like Harv's gonna get there first.
You can basically look south from where I'm heading.
But what are you asking?
Well, K-Man, I would just encourage you to
everything's going there.
go to our Discord and ask for help there, my dude.
Command both vehicles going there.
BMP rolling along. I think the BMP also has command in it.
Oh, right. Back, yeah, head south, southwest, even southwest.
All right. BMP now being trailed by the BTR. BTR also coming off road now. Nice jump. First MTLB of the Harvs about ready to hit the village here in 12.5. Probably dismount point is probably around here. Tow and the mortar both constructed for US. And it looks like the Wandering Fire team, the Wandering Squad, is probably based out of this cluster of trees right here. November 14, 7, 8 area. As that extra MRAP is planted, not manned right now, November 14, 9. Okay, so maybe one MTLB is gonna pop down here? Guys may have just taken a wrong turn. Maybe they're just gonna be off-roading until about here in Hotel 11-3. Kind of a dicey roll to get the guys to come through here. There's lots of trees that are covering their approach, but I'm not entirely sold on it. BMP dismounting a fire team plus, and the vehicles are gonna hang together here. So a long way to run for these guys. So I imagine the coordination is gonna have to take over here for US or for Russia. Considering I'm hearing a lot of rumblings that communication was an issue for round 1 for this team. Interesting to see if they step up the communication here, get closer to contact. Right. This might simply, although it's not down because, I mean, and I think I'm still alive right now. So, yep.
Alright, 4 and 2, give me an update on what's going on in the north.
I have dismounted my infantry and we're now going to start clearing out buildings.
Copy
Right,
that.
Command, do you want us pushing past Novo or going through Novo? We can bypass it completely if needed.
If you can bypass it. Just set up, try and get me eyes on this airfield. Remember, you have CAS assets, so you can, 6-round HE artillery. So remember, if you can see positions, by all means light them up with artillery before you open up and give away your position, okay?
They get artillery now? No. It doesn't get artillery.
Right, what's the command? Or what's the... Which one is it for the RD? Do we have a...
Bacon, you're looking for a 6-round mortar and a 6-round barrage. Or a 6-round smoke barrage.
That's smoke, it's smoke, sorry. It's smoke.
Yep,
right,
there we
smoke,
go.
no HEA for...
Chaka running around here in the open. Might get spotted. Let's see if we get down to the ground here. What's the objective? U.S. are defending the airfield against Russia. Russia are going to move in to try to take out the airfield. They're going to try to take out the radio and then secure that location. Russia have vehicles, armored vehicles. U.S. have a tow launcher and some fortifications at their base. Constant bird's eye view for games? Yeah. When we're not running our multiple points of view stream, it's gonna be bird's eye view, or it's gonna be me on the ground. And every time it seems like every time I end up on the ground, I end up volunteering for like a leadership role, and I get salty on stream. So we're not gonna do that. If I'm gonna play boots on the ground, I might play boots on the ground tonight, but just do rifleman stuff. I don't think I wanna do squad leading, that's for sure, because that's all the headache. Tremendous level of headache if I have to squad lead. I think I'm just gonna be rolling around doing the thing. Monitoring the game? No, I'm simply streaming it for y'all.
In the east and south, it's a little bit easier.
Dude, you're not
Holy fuck, those APCs.
Squad 3 making some progress here, but Lord Chaka, I wonder if he spotted these guys. No, there's too much brush in the way. Chaka, maybe. He's headed this way with his rifle out. Did he spot someone? The Russians aren't exactly hiding. They're not even looking over here as well. Hearing mortars and hearing shots now, so I think the Russians have shown themselves pretty quickly here. Yep, and they sure have. Russians just pushed in. Russian already accepting casualties now. Toes out. Mortars landing nowhere near Russian positions.
Right, command, this is 1. Command, this is 4.
No, I ended up running a fire team. That was the... I don't want to do that. More Russians dead. Bomb kicker tries to crawl out here. He's getting shot. Shaky legs potentially making the shots from here. Shaky legs and Sugar. They just have eyes. This is a really rough place to push. They need a coordinated... Russia need a coordinated push. No reason for Russia to push lopsided like this. 3 need to get it in gear. They need to start... They need to reveal the vehicles down here in the south. Mortars coming out. Mortars
unknown on the tow location.
Might be headed towards 2, but I don't think that's really going to be anything. I think U.S. still have a squad out here to the
I don't think mine was
far
engaged
east.
I think it was 4.
I heard someone say toe.
Not mine. Mine was fine.
Mortar's landing close to Cloud Kicker, I think. Cloud Kicker crawling away to the east, dodging.
Yeah, the toe shot somewhere, but it didn't hit mine.
U.S.
Okay, 4 and 2. Let me know when this starts getting like very tasty in the north, and then we're gonna move the heavy
It's
vehicles
very
in from the
tasty.
south.
Anchor and mortars continue the game in the favor of the Russians, so the Russians don't have access to mortars this round. Russians have a few artillery smoke missions they can call in,
Hold on.
but they don't have access to the HE indirect fire. The U.S., on the other hand, have a mortar set up. They also have a CAS bombing drone they can call in. And I think those mortars are meant as more as a anticipatory barrage. Russians, on the other hand, getting a squad pretty close here. No contact from 4. Miyamoto, on the other hand, his entire squad is making the push along the southwestern ditch line, taking the tree that branches north. And these guys aren't really prepared for it. Peach and Muffinator might get some shots off here because they're in that they're in this building. They got windows facing north and west. Oh, and the mortar lands pretty close. A little north here, about 20 meters off. Not close enough to cause casualties. And the U.S. line is too strong. They're gonna need... They need smoke barrage. Russians throwing smoke grenades. Bacon has not called in smoke mortars yet. Mortars landing closer to their position. The Russians are just pushing into the smoke. This is a rough situation. They need the vehicles to show up here. Russian vehicles all the way to the south, not helping. MTLB is actually going to get run over by, looks like Kuba and Ajikan and around the north. Lorchanka is running the wrong way trying to look for these vehicles. Russians need the vehicle support now. They're trying to get... I know these MTLBs are trying to get pushed up here. Looks like the first U.S. casualty is also being taken right now. Tow getting launched.
They shot a tow at my infantry.
They're wasting... The U.S. are wasting tows on MRAPs, on infantry. But U.S. right now
being fired at my...
is not looking good.
Kill anyone behind.
Bartok is just throwing HE and frag to destroy, cut their way into the line here. HE rounds landing all around Russian positions here, not hitting anyone that barrage. And Miyamoto's squad now getting closer into contact here. I think they're actually supporting, or maybe not. Those are just in force.
I'm 1 down.
4B advised, J1319 saw infantry contact.
J1319.
Bacon makes it across, and he's starting to go up the hill now. If he makes it into this trench, that's bad news for U.S. I think the U.S. border is guessing at Russian infantry positions now. Russia need to step up this assault. They need these vehicles to get in the game. It's simply not happening. The southwest looks like it might be going off here once the Russians, walk in front of these U.S. occupied hangars. Russians going to lose a lot of people, but Russian fire team in the trenches now. The mortar is still being fired here. Not an NSA spy on the tow, looking for targets. Is not going to see anyone. Mortar's landing close on. And it's a good thing the Russians are moving ahead here.
Alright guys, principal, the first objective.
Bagger Joe and Sugar.
Once we have the hangers, we will push and take them. 2 and 4, you need to hang on as long as you can.
Good. I got this,
as
boys.
as you can with you.
Ooh, Bagger Joe eats a frag. What a great throw. Sugar also gets one. And Bacon Liberal and a third die from a frag. It's just Viper here, and he's also already eaten. Unfortunate. The Russians, not the numbers they need to be pushing in here. Looks like one squad is done. Either Scottish champ gets his head taken off by an MTLB. MTLB in Defilade. Not able to be hit by the toe unless the toe makes a miraculous shot. Meanwhile, the toe hits the MTLB right in the side. Modern Death and Earths are going to have to ditch it. That thing's going to pop.
Eye contact with 4 or not?
And here we go. Looks like I heard some smoke landing.
The trench east of my location.
Copy that.
I thought I heard some smoke.
Do the honors.
Some smoke barrage landing. Meanwhile, Miyamoto's squad has the best situation. They're going to be able to walk right into the ditches here. Right into the trench.
1 strong infantry, MTLB still. You are 1 strong. Infantry, MTLB still. Copy that. Alright, you just hold your corner.
And here come the MTLB, or the BTR and the BTR and the BMP have snuck on to the southern end of the airfield. Patrick Star is dead. NSA spy still next to the toe.
Okay, 3 and Phoenix.
I think the BMP is trying to snipe the BMP is trying to snipe the toe. NSA spy off the toe now, but he's right next to it. BMP just casually chipping away at all of the 411 Subway Samurai get destroyed. Lex Ryan and Silence still holding here. FXF Tails don't appear to have a lat. Who killed that BMP? I think it was Silent. Silent with the
I lost Vic.
Hey, friend. Hold on. 50 cal between the hangers.
And Phoenix spots the.
I have eyes on. It is the second. It is the second south hangar. He's hiding behind 2 resupply crates, like big red supply crates.
Command. I need to know if it's between the 2 southern or between the 2 northern.
It's in the second from bottom hangar. It's in that hangar behind a red supply crate.
All right, DZ. Second gas on left hangar. Just hold one.
The MP trying to figure out.
Second from the left hangar, DZ. 50 cal inside.
Ooh, Red Abyss pops out of the trench here. Gonna have Russians walking over him any second now. Meanwhile, looks like the BMP is gonna try to take a stab at. Oh, Krill actually jumps a fence, kills Lex Ryan. Silence dead. It's neutralized. Krill got a Krill and cold kill. Looks like infantry jumping the fence here, able to get through. Is there a hole in the fence right here? Uh-oh. And the BMP now looking north. Bad news for US.
Command, we are engaging. Toes going down now.
Copy that. 3, I need you to breach into these hangars. They're occupied by enemy
Boogie,
infantry.
kind of a great position here with this mortar.
Hangar is occupied with 1 times.
Basically, it looks like he's going to be trying to get these guys to the southwest as to get into the trenches here. Expect these mortar shots to be fired probably on these hangars. Looks like that's where he's looking. Meanwhile, Russian in the north about to get destroyed from the rear. As Airborne Squad with that roving MRAP now coming in.
Okay, let's just keep it nice and slow now.
Right now, it's still pretty even. 13 kills Russia, 14 kills US. Russia able to make some progress here in the face of losing pretty much an entire squad.
Phoenix. Alright,
BMP going to be a little bit more confident in operating now. However, Lord Chanka has arrived with his hat. He's going to be hunting that BMP for sure. He's looking for it, but I don't think he's got a shot at it from here. Mortars trying to zero in on the infantry. I think the BMP is just hitting people from range here. I think Sugar just died to the BMP.
Command, have we used up our smoke rounds?
It's going to be dicey for the BMP to roll up to the north.
4 times smoke and 1 time smoke barrage.
Miyamoto, please confirm, do you have friendly infantry inside the house, Juliet 15-7?
Copy.
Miyamoto, that was a question. Do you have friendlies, Juliet 15-7-4?
I think,
negative.
Peach got spotted. Peach got spotted by the BMP, so expect him to pop here. Peach trying to find the safe spot in his house. Protecting the tower. Oh, the tower. Peach gets hit by a frag round there. Dedicated server, just random ones? No, we don't have a dedicated server for this. There's no way we can organize games like this on a regular basis. Uh-oh. MTLB gets popped by the hat. Oh, yeah, the BMP got, or sorry, MTLB got popped by the hat.
Okay, Modern, comms. Modern, how many guys are on your current position?
BMP now looking for whoever destroyed that MTLB.
Comms, break. 3, your vehicle just went down. I need to know what killed it, and I need to know if it's still there.
It's not there. I think infantry down near Latium.
And we have confirmation that infantry is dead.
Copy.
No, it's a fucking question.
Oh.
Are they still there? The thing that just killed your vehicle? Yes or no?
Oh, look at this. Modern Death Earthsea.
Thank you.
From the MTLB that ditched out earlier in the round, the northeast.
Command, possible HE.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah,
they could really just walk in here and
pull out as fast as you can, get to the east
if
side
they
of the east side of the airfield,
just use this trench and get in, they could kill command. They could take down the mortar. Looks like they're just trying to link back up. Lord Chanka and Dubisku are hunting this BMP for sure.
What's the situation like? Is there movement in those buildings?
More mortar coming out here. It looks like the mortar was probably zeroed in on the.
Okay. Copy that.
Yeah, the mortar is looking for the
security. We're going to move
BMP.
up the BMP2. It's going to engage whatever contacts between.
Would have been pretty close hits. Pretty much right on the position.
It's in J13.
J13 copy. Okay, teams in J13.
Command.
Phoenix.
Command, do you want me to bring my infantry with me? Yes or no?
No, hold them there. We'll work something else out. You just get up there.
BMP taking shots. Looks like it killed Dubisku. So Lord Chanka, I think, had the lat there. Or he has a hat.
Miyamoto, I need you to rally Phoenix's infantry and your infantry.
Russia just need to. Oh, Russia. Looks like Stark holding his own against the north here. Looks like the Harv went down as well. U.S. pushing out here for whatever reason. Deciding they want to own this northern tree line.
You're moving up to the east side. Those buildings are apparently clear. So you're going to support 2.
Kind of rough.
Engage any contacts northwest quadrant of the airfield.
Seems like it seems like round 1 there was that, you know, that BMP push up. Round 2 seems like the fire team is just going to push up for whatever reason. U.S. forces have cornered a bunch of Russians in the building here.
I'm trying to keep honest.
Muffinator and Redibus have cornered Pony, Predator, more. Muffinator eats a round, an explosive round, and Pony.
Eyes on hat coming towards the BMP.
Question mark?
From the northwest, coming straight towards the buildings.
Copy that.
I will gladly be our
Phoenix, if you guys
tunnel
are still
rat,
around the
so to
hangars, have
speak.
them come
In the northwest.
I have.
Oh, he sees Bamiator. Redibus still holding.
Charlie, you guys go ahead.
Real clever. Phoenix, you heard that?
Well, Appa's dead. Or not. Redibus could whip. Little overkill there. It's this last round. This is round 2 of this operation. Looks like Shia ran into Modern Death and Earthsea, and Baminator is going to be unfortunate. He's going to be cut off. Looks like he was going to try to hunt the BMP as well. The BMP now rolling back down. Lorchanka.
I don't want to risk it for a fucking lap.
Blackbeard, I'd back
Oh
now.
no.
Pushing this way now into the buildings.
If Lorchanka realizes all he's got to do is hop that.
BMP up somewhere up in, yeah, set it overlooking the building. Set it somewhere east of the airfield.
BMP is looking behind it. Lorchanka. I wonder if Blackbeard's going to hear Lorchanka. This was the old position for the radio last round. Chanka, I think, is going to jump the fence. Yes, he is.
Alright, guys, can I get a sit rep?
Chanka is chasing this thing.
Clear comms, audio on foot near to me, near to command.
All right, Blackbeard.
It's probably the LA2.
Blackbeard versus Lorchanka. What's he going to do? Chanka's crawling on the ground. He doesn't have his rifle out, I don't think. He might have his rifle out. He does not. Chanka's going to crawl right into Blackbeard. And there's the hat. BMP now operating a little bit cleaner than it was. Let's see, AT capabilities for US now down to I guess they rebuilt the hat, or they rebuilt the toe.
Phoenix, before you go down,
They rebuilt the toe, but looks like the toe missed.
Southwest of you right now.
And the BMP lives to fight on. How do you get on this, Ted? You gotta take our basic SOTT course. Matter of fact, we got one on the calendar for tomorrow. We usually run one of those basics a week. Earthsea and Modern Death finding it out against Baminator here. It looks like looks like they got the drop on him. Wow. Stark is still up, guys. Stark evaded the U.S. fire team chasing him after he killed Kuba.
We're trying our best, Blackbeard.
I got a fag.
Phoenix, if you can move north and try and clear out whatever is giving
it's going in Russia's favor now. SquadOps.gg is the place where to go.
Alright.
And then the calendar. You want to go to the calendar and check in there. Also, you need to link the Discord. Part of your registration process, make sure you link your Discord account with your website account.
I assume it was a buddy team that came after me.
Watch that entrance.
Yep, and basic training. Your basic SOTT course is the course you want. I think Silas tried to peek his head up here, and he's almost got it taken off by the BMP. Unfortunate right now. I don't see any lats. Oh, I see one Baminator. Oh, and there's still a hat over here. Daniel and Slev. So, Russia could... There you go, K-Man. Sometimes you need help, you gotta ask for it.
Squad 2, where? Squad 2, where? Just tell us where you go.
Straight west behind the building. Their whole team.
West on the western side or west on the northern side of the building? Understood, thank you.
Alright. BMP going hunting now. Baminator might have a chance to put a rocket into the BMP.
They can't have many left if Modern hasn't died yet, basically.
So looks like a fire team holding around where Blackbeard is. The last hat, and looks like Daniel, the lat, Slev has a hat kit. They're moving in from the southwest.
That's copy that.
You need to double check the command that you're getting to post in, but you need to make sure you throw it in the one of the normal channels. Ooh. Terminator gets killed. Shaky Legs about to bleed out as well. Shaky Legs bleeds out.
A2, what do you
They
see?
tried to peek up.
Contact southeast, southwest of our position. I think they must have retaken.
Uh-oh. The cast coming in for US. Where's it going to land? BMP's got to get out of there. BMP gets tracked by the cast. Pretty lucky considering the cast can usually one-shot these vehicles. With no AT to deal with it, Russia got to get out and repair these tracks, and that's exactly what Phoenix is going to do. DZ is going to stay in the turret.
Have we got any chance of rebuilding these tracks?
Yeah, I'm rebuilding them right now. Please confirm we are
Russia's in a pretty strong position now, but they have to go and clear the
We are
radio.
covering northwest, southwest, northwest,
US
southwest.
short on manpower, and they're going to be, they're zerging the BMP right now, trying to kill it. 0 point, runs up on Monardet. Monardet doesn't know what's happening. He's dead. Erdzi and DZ supporting now. 0 point's going to throw a grenade in here.
There's one down, we're approaching enemy fortifications.
Grenades trade here.
Copy that. Frag out.
0 points misses, and Erdzi's was overthrown.
You're not close enough to switch.
I'm close, I'm close.
They're trying to throw grenades at the
Command
BMP.
BMP and what's left of Squad 2 should likely take care of what's in the northwest first, then we can consolidate for the south.
0 point, still close on Erdzi and Stark here. If the guys in the north can take out this infantry, a lot more work is going to be required for Blackbeard and the rest of the Russian team here. US crawling up the western trench here. They're moving up the western trench to try to reestablish defense here.
Based on where the tow was up here in the north, radio has to be in the northwest as well. Advise we just consolidate on
H-Can. It's taken out by Stark. Great awareness by Stark here. BMP kills Airborne Tikbidalo. Great use of the HE from the autocannon there. And US slowly slipping away here. 0 point, still holding close on Erdzi and Stark over here in the northeast. Got Silas and Imiklas trying to crawl up the trenches. And the fire team that was in one of the roving MRAPs still crawling around here.
3, I need you to keep a fire team back.
FXF
you need
Tails
to be covering that trench that you have Predator in.
crawling up the
needs to be covering that
trench as well.
Covering the western trench. Those are the trenches they're going to use to try and retake their fob.
Blackbeard getting intense here. Russian forces starting to...
Miyamoto, do you hear?
I'm here, go ahead.
Oh.
Miyamoto, I need you to keep a fire team, keep Predator back with like a couple of guys to cover that trench. That's where they're likely to come from. If they don't come in that way, they're coming in
0 point, flirting with the idea of going up and over through this bush here.
Directly south of your fire teams.
Oh.
Is there any
A tow?
Negative. Yeah, contact the northeast micro.
Run-on hit with the BMP, doesn't kill it. I guess it was Imiklas. They rebuilt the tow again. Silas.
Keep a fire team back in your security, okay?
Copy, we got contacts within 50 of our northeast.
Copy that.
Silas rebuilt the tow.
Do not give up southern security.
And
You know there are guys southwest of us.
I don't think Phoenix is going to be able to see it from here. It's looking for vehicles.
Squad 3, please confirm. You had contact northeast of you, or is all of it northwest?
If they can take this BMP down, that's a big hurdle that US can clear. The tow tried to fire at the BMP again. Looks like a miss. They still got ammo for days.
Coming from 3? Can you guys engage it? I'm trying to keep this BMP
Silas
out.
reloads. I think he might have a shot on... I think Silas might have a shot on the BMP here.
We do have...
He just missed it. BMP's going to pull back any further up, and... Phoenix is going to shift here, but Phoenix shifting right in front of the hunter-killer team is still crawling through the or through the trenches here. Acardi meets Imiklas. I think Immerclass just threw a grenade. Another toe hit, and there goes the
Just,
BMP.
Heavy contact on the northwest. West
Right,
trench,
that's host them up.
is where they're
That's
pushing it
host
from.
them. Copy that. You just gotta harden up, okay? Get link up with the rest.
I think that's all the vehicles down for Russia.
Yeah, we can repel this.
Is that the
We're
toe?
so close, guys.
No, just kill toe.
Yeah, it looked like toe, yeah.
They don't like us.
Appa taking some rounds.
Get ready to get towed, by the way.
I think Immerclass is getting closer. Yeah, he's behind those vehicles there. The makeshift defense.
I don't like getting towed.
I think D-League sees him. US getting closer to making it in here. I think 0 Point's made his move, but it doesn't appear to have worked out for him. Earthsy's killed him.
Reloading.
I guess Stark died. So a little trade there. Daniel and Dixbolt making some progress here. Yuri is not aware. US soldiers crawling here. I saw you kill in the north. That was Harv, I think.
Make sure your trenches are covered. Do not get flanked on those trenches.
And Yuri wasn't paying attention. Yuri goes down. And Cold Kill picking some shots on Immerclass as well. US, Dixfolk and Daniel getting confident here. They're peeking up and over. Clamar are doing the same thing. Looking for infantry in the open. I never noticed that. I'm just technical like that. Minimalist art here. Oh, good meme. Wow, Dixfolk just runs out.
Command, you're still up.
Does anyone know this is here? Dixfolk goes full auto, hits Predator once, but unable to put any more rounds on him. Miyamoto's chasing this now?
We're holding our pause while we repel contact on our west. We're holding the trench line.
Yeah, just hold your trenches.
So they're trying to get this MG team that was just chilling in this window. Rocket comes in, doesn't appear to be. Oh, and a grenade. Overthrown. Oh no. Actually hits Appa because it gets overthrown. Daniel goes up and over. Predator down.
No way, there's two of them.
Keep shooting, keep shooting.
And Appa gets one. And Miyamoto's dead by Earthsea. Not able to win the peak there. Lamar and Slev are still up. And Immerclaw is still crawling around. He's now crawling closer to the tent. Blackbeard is the beauty they're talking about in chat, guys. Silas is still up. I think we're down to 4 less now. Cold Kill puts a shot into Slev. Clamar suppresses him. Grill goes down because Immerclass comes back over. This is not good for Russia. This is really not good. Blackbeard, I think, is now looking for the tow guy. Silas is actually moving back to the mortar.
Bandaging. Yeah, you should.
Cold Kill and Free Stalker.
Hey,
oh, Silas on the mortars now. Imagine Blackbeard's going to take a beeline straight for that mortar.
I assume the fob is near it. The radio's near it.
Copy that.
Just cover.
There's still a significant number of Russian soldiers over here in the east. Underthrown smoke. Lamar's going to use the smoke.
There's smoke.
And Appa takes a couple of shots, isn't able to land any himself. He might bleed out. This is the second bullet he's taken. Cold Kill's going to run away.
We have to get this on the north from here.
Immerclass and Lamar trying to get in here.
Eyes on mortar.
Blackbeard is going to run down Silas, I think. Here comes a grenade. It's got the distance. I think it just took his... Yep, and there goes Silas eating the grenade. Mortar takes some damage and it goes down. The last mortar rounds.
Eyes on radio.
And Blackbeard single-handedly going to complete the objective for Russia. Slev Immerclass Gonna make our move around here. Now that Russians know where the radio is, and I expect them to definitely try to get out of here. They're gonna be in the open, though. They have no idea the U.S. soldiers are down. Well, they know the U.S. soldiers are down here, but they're running away.
Command, do you
It's
want
kind of weird.
I'm on it. Literally, command specific. Open your map up.
Copy that.
Look at this.
Sorry.
I'm on it. Get everyone here.
How should we approach? How should we approach? Yeah. Right,
Northern approach. Take northern approach.
Okay. Miyamoto is now gonna have these guys hop the road here. They're gonna get off. They're gonna abandon this position. So the U.S. is gonna be out of position. The remaining U.S. soldiers, Lamar, Slev, and Amiclas, are gonna be out of position. As Russia are gonna take the long way around. They're gonna try to make it safe. They're gonna get back in the trench, use the trench system to probably get over to Blackbeard.
I still have 3 smokes.
34 kills
All
for
right,
Russia, 28 kills
go.
U.S. Looks like
Any
the big
blueberries
shift
behind there?
happened
Stay close. Check your spacing.
when Russia
You're
just threw
entering
their
the trench
entire
momentarily.
remaining force in here. They
There's
just,
at least 2 guys of these two, so keep an eye on that way.
U.S. weren't able to really come up with an answer. Even though they eventually chipped away the vehicles. Vehicles don't win fights.
Pushing into the trench.
Especially over an entire round.
Alright, let's stay the ones
We're gonna take the other side.
Go for it, go for it.
And
Command, did you wrap around the west, or did you just go straight south?
I went straight south over that open field, so enjoy that. Use the trench as far as you can. Radio's dug completely. I'm now just gonna take up a position here. We got plenty of
Blackbeard
trenches,
single-handedly
so
digs the
just spread
radio,
yourself out.
which means U.S. are going to have to reattack. So 3 U.S. soldiers
Get fucked, US.
making their approach. They're going to follow in the Russian soldiers' footsteps to the north. They're being careful because they think they're going to walk up on the Russians around here. Of course, they knew where the radio was, so U.S. just now going to be using the same approach because it's probably the safest approach to take.
With you, just out of interest.
Yeah, I got you guys.
Right, okay, keep 2 guys in that northern point, like if you've got an AR or something, or keep 1 guy, like an AR up there, just covering our
All right,
north.
Slev, Klamar, and Emiklas. Now just trying to
else
figure out
come
what to
down
do.
to
It
me.
looks like they're going to shift south instead of trying to go across the road to the north.
The chances are they're going to approach from the eastern trench, next to that, whatever that square thing is on the map. So we just got to hold this sort of rough location.
It'll all be
I'm pretty
over
sure they're going to be
soon.
coming either in the direction that you came, or they're
Unless
going to be
U.S.
coming
win
up
a
that
bunch
east
of fights
trench. As long as
here,
we cover those 2 angles,
a bunch of
we're fine.
gunfights, Russia in a pretty prime position to take round 2 here.
Also, if you've got an ammo pack, that'd be great. Because I think
And
they
the U.S. are
make sure
back in the
everyone's got
trenches
mates.
now.
But that's how we're gonna,
Looks like a
that's how
little
we're
bit of
gonna
pep in
kill
their
these
step.
trenches. Frag, try and take shots.
And looks like they've been spotted. Miyamoto.
Contact east, frag him out. Who's that? Free Stalker on me. Okay, Free Stalker on me. Everyone else hold the train.
Oh, Blackbeard wants. Blackbeard wants to end this now.
exactly where they are.
They're trying to shift.
Contact direct east of us. 068.
Oh, I think we see Slev.
Engage.
Emiklas takes a
One
shot,
zero.
goes back down.
Yeah,
They're trying to
Hold
use
this
the trench
fucking-
to.
Hold this position, guys. Hold this position. Free
D-League
Stalker.
actually gets shot. Youch. Lamar making his way left on the trench. Appa moving pretty recklessly here. And Appa able to peek out Lamar. Lamar goes down. I think Appa takes a shot there. Slev is actually in a really good position behind that Hesco. I think he thinks he killed Appa. Maybe Appa doesn't have any more bandages. That's
YOLO.
bad news. So Appa in YOLO mode gets gunned down by Slev.
How many guys have we got left, in your squad?
2 U.S. versus
How many
4
guys?
Russians.
I've got smoke and thrown from the truck directly east of my...
5 Russians.
Copy.
I can count. So it looks like Emiklas is kind of boned here. He's going to have to crawl in the open to make it. Not going to work out for him. He falls back, but was he hit? No, he wasn't hit. Good for him. Slev and Emma Klaas going to come back together here. Making one last push at it. Whew. This is a crazy round. Going on for a while. Of course, this is going to be all the action. We got some more... we got another operation coming up tonight. Tell you guys about that here in a second, once we get closer to the end here. It's good to see the classics come back into it, man. It's been a while. I think it's been a minute since we run open road.
Alright, beautiful.
This map, this is one of the operations we've had for years now.
Alright, Mia, they threw smoke, but they haven't pushed it. So assume that they're going to be rotating and trying another approach.
Slev, Emma Klaas, doing exactly that.
They might be faking out, you know?
They still got to make through a couple more chicanes here before they get close enough to be destroyed by... Oh, are they paying attention? They're not paying attention down the trench? Maybe Urtzi is... Urtzi might have a shot on them.
Both of your heads are exposed to the northeast.
Copy. Yeah,
Moto
over there.
just holding the position. Going pretty well, all things considered. Does Restream want to get back in? No.
Alright, well I believe the remainder
Right, guys, guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
I look at where everyone is, right? The spacing is atrocious, right? Spread out. We need to cover the eastern trenches, but like one frag takes out like 5 of us.
Slev and Emma Klaas coming around town now.
Alright. Understood.
It says I'm offline, but I'm not. Mark. Y'all are still watching, so I'm assuming I'm not offline. Kind of crazy.
Have you still got a guy up in the north, or is there someone still covering from the north side?
And we get a timer from company, or sorry, our mission admin, or event admin. A couple more on the way. Looks like they're going to push all the way around. I wonder if they're just going to go up and over. It'd be kind of funny if they did. How about it, guys? What do you think? Russians pretty much got the point on lockdown. And the reason why we're doing this is because the Russians took the radio, so the roles in the operation shift from a Russian attack to a Russian defend. Likewise, US are going to have to retake this position. 2v5. Odds are not in their favor. And it looks like they're just unfamiliar with the terrain, so they're going to double back here and probably just take the more direct route that they were taking. They decided not to take, where they double back to the north. The reason why they're probably not taking this route is it would just take forever. You got to go around all the trenches over here and then come over here and then get killed by D-Leak on the west side. No. They're just going to take this east trench here and get killed by Urtzi. Alright, here we go. Urtzi, not looking, takes a bullet and snaps over to Emma Klaas. And, yep, there goes the last one up and over the edge. And there we go, GG. A little bit tighter of a result compared to round one, but a result nonetheless. Russians taking both rounds there. Pretty good stuff. We are going to be coming back for another operation tonight. We got Whirlwind, another classic. Starting tonight, we'll be going to stream going live 8:45 p.m. It's 1:45 UTC. Make sure you follow us on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, get notifications turned on so you know when we go live, and hop on in for the stream because, you know, Saturday, squad ops. It's good stuff. Like I said, World 1 tonight, another classic. If you're interested, come on by. If you're interested in participating, look for our SOT basic course. That's the course you need to take before you can participate in operations like these. Anywho, until later today, I'll see y'all later.